What's going on, people? Welcome to another video. This boy is actually back after forever, and yeah, you already saw my video from yesterday, so don't worry about that. If you didn't, check it out. It's actually pretty emotional, pretty great. And this video is back to business. I am going to be releasing a video where I talk about my goals for the channel and where I see us going in the future, and in the near future and the far future, hopefully. But today is about Manchester United. It's about, when is it never about Manchester United? It's always about Manchester United for me. And we have a game against Middlesbrough tomorrow. This is Thursday when I'm uploading this, and we are going to be playing against Middlesbrough in the FA Cup, fourth round. So hopefully we can get that win in that game. And if I don't sound too confident, it's because I'm not, because we didn't make any January transfer signings, and that team we've got, I mean, obviously the team we've got should be beating Middlesbrough any day of the week, but at the end of the day, we haven't really improved our team. And they have Chris Wilder as a manager. Guess what? The first I see a lot of people talking about this is like a giveaway or something, but a lot of people talking about Chris Wilder and Sheffield United, which was his old team that he managed in the Premier League for 2 seasons. In his first season, they were impressive, and they were pushing for Europe pretty much for the entire season, and they only just missed out on it when we came back from the COVID-imposed break, and finished with Project Restart in the 1920 season. And they finished in 8th at the end of the day, which is one place that gets you Europe now. I said stands for with the Conference League edition, but for that it was the top 6 that got Europe, and the 7th place team only got Europe if one of the teams that was in the top 6 already won the FA Cup, and another one in the top 6 won the Carabao Cup. So then 7th place team would get into European competition, because there's 7 spots there, or there used to be 7 spots. Now I guess there's 8, maybe. I don't know how that works, but at the end of the day, they finished 8th, and they just missed out on Europe. Barely. Actually, I think they finished 2 points behind 6th place too, so it wasn't even that they missed out by a lot anyway, but they did. And then in the next season, they got relegated as bottom of the table. They finished with a whimper in the table. I think they finished as maybe the 3rd worst team ever in the Premier League, and the only reason they didn't finish as the worst team, if I'm not mistaken, was because of the fact that, which is what I'm getting to, that first season we beat them 3-0, and Anthony Martial scored a hat-trick in that first game when we beat them 3-0 during Project Restart. And then the second season that they finished as one of the worst teams ever in the Premier League, they actually beat us at Old Trafford. They beat us 2-1, and so people were talking about, Chris Wilder, we hope we get the second season Sheffield United that he was in charge of. Actually, the second season team beat us, and the first team season got thumped by us. So maybe we should get the first team season at Sheffield United. But on a more serious note, I do think that it's going to be a difficult game, just because of the fact that we've had such a long time off. I've always said, I'm starting to, branch into the coaching department. Just hopefully start. I haven't got my license or anything, but I'm like trying to start, getting some opportunities. And I've coached a couple of times before, and I just feel like for a coach, you want 7 to 10 days. I think is the best that you want in terms of space between games. You want 7 to 10 days. I mean, you can make an argument that it's 4 to 10 days, but I believe 7 to 10 days, because you want to be able to talk about the last game. Because even if you won by a lot, you still want to talk about some things, because there's no way you can play a perfect game. Even like a team that I'd say has been close to perfect this season, I'd say Manchester City, and they haven't always played a perfect game. They lost 2-0 against PSG in a game where they dominated, but they just couldn't take the chances, and PSG cut them cold twice. So, you're always gonna have something to improve on as a football team, a soccer team, however it may be. You're always going to have something to improve on. That's why it's competition, because you're always going to have something that you can be better at, something that you could have, made a better decision in, something that you could have done something better. So you're always going to have that situation, but this is not about any of that. I never know why I keep going on about that. This is a Manchester United Middlesbrough preview, so we probably should talk about Manchester United last fixture, which was a last second win courtesy of Marcus Rashford. When is it never? Marcus Rashford, MBE, who's had so much criticism this season, and I'm not gonna get involved. Actually, just before we go on, I'm gonna get on a tangent here real quick. I do tend to do that if you noticed, but. Quick, I'm not gonna get involved in this Mason Greenwood thing. I'm not gonna talk about it, honestly, because if you guys want to hear my opinion, I might actually do a video on it whenever I'm done. Because I have a queue of videos that I have to work on this, and then also the. I'm not saying the issue is not important or anything, but my priorities are set on reestablishing my account and getting myself back on track here, and making sure I communicate with as many of you as I have now, and setting my goals and trying to be better, and so I don't have time to consider that. I, of course, have reacted to it as a person, and as a human being, as a romantic myself that I am, I definitely have found it very, very difficult to see the pictures and the video and listen to the audio, but I'm not going to get involved in that because we're talking about Manchester United, and I already spent a minute talking about it, which is a minute more than I actually wanted to spend in my life talking about it for now. So, yeah, I'm going to move on. And Manchester United, like I said, Marcus Rashford, the winner in the last minute against West Ham in a critical game for us. We had to win that game, and that game was drifting, and it was quite scary. Actually, that's one of the very first games I've watched for Manchester United in a long time that I was actually, perturbed in, I would say, because I've actually found myself to be quite emotionless because of how depressing it's been watching us this season. But that was a game I was quite worried in. It looked like they were gonna get that late goal, Souček with that header that almost scored. But this isn't a preview of a review of Manchester United West Ham. Ironically, actually, if I would have done that, that would have coincided with the last time you guys saw me talking about Manchester United, which was West Ham, last minute winner from Lingard. I did a preview of that, and that literally was the last time I tried to do the review of it, and I couldn't because my phone decided not to let me, and then I suffered a terrible loss of confidence. But that's for that video. I spoke of that. I'm probably going to be doing later on today or tomorrow, where I will be talking about the personal issues that have led to where I am. But like I said, we scored the late goal. We haven't been playing that well. We've been getting some good results. Of course, Brentford 3-1. Before that, Aston Villa then they came back and made it 2-2 in that game where we really should have won. But I do think that we've actually found ourselves in a situation where we're not doing too bad. And honestly, there's definitely scope for improvement, and you can't really doubt that. But I do believe that we are headed in a decently adjacent direction into the right direction. Of course, we should have invested in our team. We should have brought CDM in. We should have brought CDM in last season. We should have brought CDM in last January. We should have brought CDM the summer before this previous one. So we should have brought CDM in a long time ago. When we lost under Herrera, we should have brought CDM in. Before we lost under Herrera, we should have brought CDM in. But the point is, we didn't, and we're now in a situation where our team definitely has a hole. This if you guys know my setup, there's a light-in that gives me better lighting, and there's like a light, and it's a circle light, and there's a hole in between. That's Manchester United right now. We literally have a very, very a legendary goalkeeper, a legendary striker, a decently good defense when Harry Maguire isn't in there. Even when Harry Maguire isn't there, we don't look so rattled in defense most of the time. Of course, we did against Aston Villa in that game where they tied it, but we don't always look so ragged in defense. But the reason we struggle a lot, even and conceded a lot of goals, is not because our defenders are terrible. It's definitely not because our goalkeeper is terrible, because he's made the most saves in the league this season. It's because our midfield just can't. They don't have the awareness to cover to sense the danger and cover the spaces and actually go with runners and create situations where we are safe defensively. Our defenders, I watched that Aston Villa game, and our defense played incredible, and we couldn't keep a clean sheet. The Brentford game, we couldn't keep a clean sheet. Our defense was sensational. The game against West Ham, Souček almost scored, and that was just because he ran off his marker, who happened to be, I think it was Cavani or something, and that wasn't the defender, and that's it. That's the problem. Is the rest of the team we don't defend as a team. If you look at Manchester City, the way they play is whenever they give the possession up, they immediately drop back to the halfway line. Like, they try for a couple of seconds to win the ball, but you're going to see Raheem Sterling, Foden, or De Bruyne, or Bernardo Silva, or Gabriel Jesus, or Ferran Torres before he left for Barcelona. You see all of them, they immediately forget about whatever they're doing after like 2 seconds of trying to win the ball, and they all fall back into the shape, and they keep that shape. Everybody drops, and they keep compact because the defense steps up, but then also the midfield and the attack retreats into the defense, and they get so compact, and they make it so difficult for the other team to play through them. That's what you need to do as a team. You cannot play, like a football team that plays, or the offense is on the field and then the defense is resting and the defense is off the field. And this we're not playing American football. We're playing soccer, real football. So you're not actually gonna be able to play the way you play like American football, where special teams is on and offense and defense is just doing whatever it is they're doing, and defense and offense like swap in and out. You can't do that. Everybody's got to be switched on in 90 minutes, and that's why as a team we can't play a whole 90-minute game of where we actually are looking comfortable, we're looking confident, we're looking like we actually are competent and know what we want to do as a team and how we want to play. We can't do that. We don't play 90-minute games. We play 45-minute good or 60-minute good, and then we fall apart or something happens, or we don't start the game well, and then we eventually come back and try actually perform as a team, and that's not good enough. We have to play 90-minute games. The root of the problem is we just aren't organized in terms of. And the root is the fact that our midfield is just not good enough, and that's it. There's no hate on McFred, there's no hate on McTominay or Fred as individuals, as a team. The only hate on them is the fact that they're not good enough. That's just it. And it's not about dragging someone's name down in the mud or derogatory or anything. They're professional footballers. They've done something right to get there. There's no question about it. They're both internationals. Fred plays for Brazil. That's not easy. And if McTominay plays for Scotland, that is also not easy. But you know what the clue is? Neither one of those players play in the position that we asked them to play at Manchester United. They do not play that position for their national teams. Scott McTominay plays as one of the three in a center back part in a three center back formation, and Fred plays as a number 8, which is where we should probably be playing him. He plays as a number 8 when he plays for Brazil, because they have Casemiro, they have Fabinho, they have players that actually know how to play that position that we ask him to play. And instead of us getting players then they can play that position, we decide no, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna sit here and we're gonna try and turn water into wine. And I'm sorry, but you're not Jesus Christ, so it's not gonna work out. Unless you want to have Jesus Christ as your manager, maybe that's gonna work out. Then you can beg the Lord to come down and help you. Then you can win, because he definitely you can win anyway. No matter who you got in there, you can have me in there, you always win because you got Jesus. But if you want to have a human as your manager, you're not. Nobody's a miracle worker. You're not gonna be able to win with that guy. I mean, that doesn't mean we're not gonna win games, because we are gonna win games. We won the last game we played. We've won more games this season than we've lost. That's just a fact. But what that means still is that you're gonna struggle to actually challenge at the top. And when at the end of the day, when the prizes are being given away, you're not gonna be there because you don't have a team. You have fancy signings. You have Sancho, 74 million. You have Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the greatest players of all time. You got David De Gea, one of the best goalkeepers, not just today, but ever. And you still not gonna be able to win anything because your team is not complete. Like I said, this light, it gives me light, but if it doesn't give me full service of light in that shape, because it's just a round, it's a donut. So that's how it works. If you have a donut, you don't have the full shape of a circle. So that's the problem, and that's it. And that's why we struggle. And it's not complaining or anything. It's just stating the facts. That's it. It doesn't have to be like that's. I think that's the biggest problem we have as Manchester United fans. A lot of us we get emotional and we start to drag people's names out the mud and go talk about the Glazers. Oh my God, this blah blah. No. If you wanna be like emotional like that, obviously you have a right to be, because I get emotional when I watch games, and I'm probably gonna start doing reaction videos, like making clips and leaving it on my account so you guys can see my reaction. The big moments whenever I watch games. Like whenever I'm watching a game, it's on. Like it don't matter where I am, it's on. Sometimes I'm definitely like a crazy person. I know that, but you can be emotional during the game, but when you're analyzing in terms of where the club is, where the club needs to go, what you need to do, where we are as a team, I think some people get too emotional when they make the decisions and when they make their opinions heard, and I think that just doesn't, if you're too emotional, you're not gonna get your point of view across, because people just don't want to listen to you if they think like you're nagging them or complaining at them. They don't want to listen technically, so that just makes making your point a whole lot more difficult when you find yourself getting too emotional and getting. So I try to draw myself back in, because you do get carried away as a human being. That's part of it. Emotions are part of being a human being, so you get carried away with it, but you have to definitely rein it in and be better at controlling it and having a controlled, contained, and poised conversation on it. And the fact is, I spent all this time talking about all our problems. I didn't really do much research on New Middlesbrough, because like you guys know, I just got back from deployment. I've been busy, for the past week and a half, trying to deal with things that would make sure that I can get through the post-deployment situation and get myself back home to my family. So definitely has been a couple of tough weeks for me. I didn't really do any research on Middlesbrough. I know they're sixth in the championship. I know they're having a good season. I know Chris Wilder. I know him already from his time, like I mentioned earlier, with Sheffield United. And, I think it's going to be a good game. I hope that we can get some players in. Of course, Lindelof did request some time off. Actually, he has been injured, so it doesn't matter. But he did request some time off because his house got robbed a couple of weeks ago around the West Ham time. So he would have been unable to play any game we played last week. But fortunately for us, we had this international break for whatever reason. And yet we have another international break coming up pretty soon for the rest of the world. And so I think South America is still probably playing in that one too. So it is what it is, how it goes. But nobody really likes international breaks, so there's that. But you have to have them, because you have to play qualifiers, and you got to be ready for the you have to be ready for the summer tournaments when they come up. So it's just something you got to take by the by. But I've talked a lot and haven't really said much about the game itself. I think it will be an exciting game. Of course, remember the third round game. I don't know who Middlesbrough played. I might talk about it, because I will be doing a starting 11 reaction to it before the game tomorrow. I might talk about who they beat in round 3, if I can remember that I didn't talk about it in this video. I might talk about who they beat to get to round 4. But I remember we beat Aston Villa in a very, very difficult game. And yeah, so hopefully we can repeat the trick and win again. I am going to go for a 2-0 win, but I'm hoping that we could win 4-0. I remember on the, was it Mourinho? We were winning like 4-0 against like the Reddings, and I think we beat Derby County 3-1 or something like. So yeah, we had good games where we beat teams that we should have been beating 4-0 before. So hopefully we can get back to that. I just don't see it this time. I think this is the team fighting for to get into the playoffs. And my light just turned off. 1 second, please. Yeah, so I think this is a team trying to get into the playoffs. So they are a very competitive team for sure. And I do think that they're going to be a tough nut to crack for us. And hopefully we can be better. Hopefully we can actually try to get results from this, and get a result from this and actually win this game. But I'm not holding my breath or anything. I wouldn't hold my breath anyway, but I'm not holding my breath or anything. I'm just hopeful that we can actually get the win. And I mean, like I said, my prediction is 2-0. So like I also said, I will be having 2 videos coming up soon for sure. The one that's coming up, 2 videos that are definitely coming up tomorrow are the starting 11 reaction and the post-match reaction, which is the review of the match after the game. That those 2 videos are definitely going to coming up. The video where I talk about the goals and talk about whatever personal issues I've had in the last couple months or whatever during deployment and all that made me not come on for what, 5 months. I will talk about that. That video is probably going to be coming up. I don't want to make any promises, but I hopefully will be able to do it tomorrow. If not tonight. Well, I really, actually, yeah, I have stuff going on tonight, so I am going to be doing it tomorrow, hopefully. But if not tomorrow, definitely on Saturday. And I am actually also going to try to do a prediction video for the FA Cup games. That one, I will try to do it right after this. So hopefully that one comes like pretty much the same time that this one posts, because it takes forever to post from my phone. I have to post on my phone because the camera is the better camera I have, and my laptop camera just doesn't work. As you guys saw, if you look at my first couple of videos on here, you're gonna see why I use my phone and not the camera on my laptop, because it's just a bit abysmal. And your boy's still trying to come up. Your boy's trying to go up, and this isn't as excited as I've been for a long time. Obviously, at the start of the season, I was hopeful and praying really. You guys probably couldn't tell when I was being that optimistic. I was just praying that we were going to have a great season and we were going to be back to where we were. But obviously, that hasn't turned out that way. We've got rid of a manager, and now we're working with an interim manager that the board doesn't even trust, obviously, because he said he doesn't want a player, and yeah, the player is, and he said he wants a player, and we didn't get a player in. So there is that. But we as fans, we have to trust in the manager. We have to hope that this team can actually do something. They can actually, become competitive playing 90-minute games. Hopefully we can get there soon. Hopefully we can do it tomorrow. And I definitely hoping that we can keep a clean sheet and win. I'll take a 2-0 for sure. Be thrilled if we could win 3 or 4-0. That would be amazing. But hopefully, I would take a 1-0 as well. Just putting that out there. I'll definitely take any kind of win I can get, because we need to win the FA Cup, because we're not winning the Premier League. Champions League is going to be hard. We definitely can win it. I don't know why people say we can't win it. Obviously, I look at the odds of us winning it, very, very unlikely, extremely unlikely, but we can win it because we're still in it. So there's 16 teams in there, and all of them can win it. Either on or illogical and unrealistic that sounds, any team could win it. Lille could win it. So that's how it works. That's why you play the games, and you just don't say, oh, well, Chelsea is better than Lille, so Chelsea won that game. Atletico United, who's better? Whoever it is won the game already. That's why you don't do that. That's why we don't just give wins based on. That's why United are in the position they are right now. Otherwise, they would probably be. They probably would be fourth, actually, looking at the squads and looking at what other teams have. They probably would be fourth. But you look at some other teams that are doing really well, like the Villas and the Crystal Palaces, and they probably wouldn't be as high on the table as Brighton, in the top half of the table. Forgot about them. They wouldn't be they're not in the top of the table in terms of quality, in terms of squad ability and the manager combined. They're not in the top 10 teams in the Premier League. But they are in the top 10 teams in reality. That's why you play the games, because you never know what could happen. So we could win the Champions League. Very unlikely. The most likely route to a title this season is the FA Cup. No question about that. That's definitely not up for question. But hopefully we can get the win. Hopefully we can get back to looking like a team that actually can compete and is actually capable of doing something. 2-0 United. Stay tuned for those videos. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because your boy, like I said, I'm going to talk about the goals. Your boy is definitely lagging in terms of subscribers. I think I got 20. I need to get to 1,000 to get monetized, to be recognized as an actual YouTuber. So your boy is really just making video diaries right now, reading until I get to 1,000. You can help me with that. So help a boy out, and I gotta go. Rambled on for 5 more minutes than probably should have done, but we'll see how it goes, and I'll see you in the next one. So peace.